Hi guys, this is another final reveal video. Today we're looking at a subject that's quite close to my heart. This is Matchbox models. Now, admittedly this kit is actually a Revell kit, but it's the Revell boxing of the original PK1 Matchbox Hawker Fury Mark 1. I did do a couple of modifications in the paint job on this kit because the majority of the trim on this kit, according to Revell, was supposed to be yellow. So the spinner's supposed to be yellow. The tail fin forward of the red, white, and blue flash there is supposed to be yellow, and there's a section behind the pilot there which is supposed to be yellow. And also the wheel bosses are supposed to be yellow. The thing is, the squadron that was depicted by the Revell kit was one of the squadrons picked by the RAF to do the airshow circuits, especially at Hendon, where they were based. And the Hendon airshows were spectacular. They involved a lot of RAF formation flying, aerobatics. They were like an expo for the RAF, if you like, for the general public of the United Kingdom, and actually a lot of the northern European countries. Lots of people came to see the Hendon air tattoos, and the Hawker Fury was a very important aircraft for the RAF at this time, around about 1929, 1930, 1931, where the Fury was the aircraft of choice for RAF pilots doing the Hendon tattoos and the displays. The Fury was a remarkable aircraft. It was incredibly aerobatic. It was powerful, fast. It had lines that were sleek. It was a beautiful aircraft and one of the premier aircraft for the time. When the Fury was released, it was actually the fastest fighter in the world. And it was devised from a bomber, the Hawker Hart. The Hawker Hart was the first aircraft designed by Sidney Cam to have this profile and be tubular constructed, and the aircraft, the Fury, was actually based on the Hawker Hart bomber, and the Hawker Hart bomber at the time when it was released was actually the second fastest aircraft in the world. And it was actually faster than any of the RAF fighters at the time, certainly the best part of 40 miles an hour faster in a straight line at low level than the Bulldog ever was. So the Fury was the plane of choice, and the thing about the tattoos was that they changed their livery virtually every year. Sometimes they'd be blue, sometimes you'd have a display team that came out in yellow trim, sometimes they'd come out in red, sometimes they'd come out in green. Often they'd come out with different trims on their display aircraft, where you'd have 2 green, 2 yellow, or 2 blue and 2 red. And it wasn't unusual to have different coloured aircraft in the sky flying at the same time in formation. So the reason why I've chosen red is because I actually think it looks better in red, personally for me. Yeah, I mean, I'll spin the aircraft round so you can see a little bit of what I mean. The aircraft itself, I don't know, it just lends itself better in red, doesn't it? I just like the way it looks. It's an attractive kit. I also want to explain how I came about the 2 different silver contrasting colours. The actual airframe is painted in G11 Humbrol metallic silver, just said basic metallic silver. But the engine cowlings and the gun covers and the majority of the front end of the aeroplane itself is painted in a colour, it's an acrylic colour by Tamiya called titanium silver, and I like this particular colour because it gives the impression that it's actually metal. It has a metal look about it, and I really like the fact that it has a metal look about it. As you can see, it does contrast quite nicely with the silver colour used on the rest of the aircraft. And the underside, it looks quite nice underside as well. I'll just try and get that into focus for you. There you go, you can see the contrasting colours in it now. And also, of course, this is my second aircraft that I've rigged. And I have my old friend in Birmingham, Al Wood, to thank for that, because if it wasn't for his inspiration and the way in which he video clipped his work, his models himself. He does a lot of biplane kits that are rigged. I don't think I would have even attempted to try. And this is my second attempt, and yeah, there is one wire on the back there which I'm a bit disappointed with, which is the aerial, the VHF aerial that goes to the actual fin, because it's not very tight. But the rest of them, as you can see, thanks for introducing me to rigging, Al, because the rest of them aren't actually that bad, are they? This kit is not a nice kit to rig, I'll be honest with you. It's not just a straightforward attempt at rigging the interplane struts. There are quite a lot of lines that go from the interplane struts directly to the undercarriage struts, and you have to carefully follow the rigging guide, which is actually clearly defined in the Revell instructions. So once again, a good thing there from Revell. It's something Matchbox didn't do. They never showed you how to rig this aircraft. They never showed you how to rig any of their kits. But Revell seem to have gone that bit further, and they've done it for you. They've shown you where all the wires go, which is great. So that's the Revell Hawker Fury. Remembering that it's actually the first release kit that Matchbox ever released in 1972, coming from their purple range. That would have been plastic kit number 1, PK1, in their purple range, release date 1972, and this was the first kit Matchbox ever released. And I'm very impressed with the way it's come out. It's a nice kit. You know, the original mouldings are still the Matchbox mouldings. It wasn't a difficult biplane to construct. It went together quite easily. It's probably one of the easiest biplane kits anyone will ever produce. Very easy kit to build. I want to also bring your attention whilst I'm doing this to the Matchbox pilot that you get with the Revell kit, because he is actually the original Matchbox pilot. And a lot of people don't like these guys. They think they're inferior in quality, and they think they're actually quite poor, but I quite like them. I quite like that. I mean, the detail you get with the pilots isn't that bad at all. And yeah, he doesn't look too bad in there, does he? He looks quite capable and able to fly. So that's the Revell stroke Matchbox Hawker Fury. Hope this video has been of some use. I'll see you for the next one, lads. Bye for now.